Before today's video, I just want to say real quick that this might look familiar, and it's because it is. I am currently working on a really big video. It's going to be a long video about me playing through every game in a specific series. I don't want to spoil it just yet. And with that being said, I won't be able to upload or work on different videos as much because I really want to focus all my attention on this specific video. So in the meantime, to fill the gaps, I'm going to be uploading small segments from my I Played Every Nickelodeon Game and I Played Every Cartoon Network Game videos as their own separate videos. This will only be a thing for a few weeks while I work on this big ass video. Enjoy the video. Thank you for watching. Now, we all know Kids Next Door was lit. The villains were creative, the plot lines were unique, and there were so many episodes I remember being tied for my favorite. It even ended with a movie that was chef's kiss. Kids Next Door Operation video game is a third-person platformer that also mixes like some Ratchet & Clank style shooting sequences, some bullet hell flying levels, some really solid hand-to-hand combat, and some shitty stealth sections. And that's where I think the first real positive thing is for the game. There's a lot of variety in the gameplay. But before we get into that, let's get into the story. So the game opens up with the kids next door trying out a new virtual reality training thing, but the Toiletnator invades the treehouse, and number one is like, whoa, it's so real, and takes him down. It's here where we learn that all the villains have escaped prison and are trying to get their revenge on the KND. So the kids next door go hunting them down one by one, but there's a shadowy figure watching them, and it's number 5 sister, who is working with the delightful children from down the lane, and the father. I don't actually remember their names, and I'm too lazy to look it up, so if I'm getting these names wrong, then I'm sorry, but we gotta learn to just deal with this. Anyway, father and the delightful children are planning something. I'm not really sure what the overall plan is, but who cares? At the end of the day, we got these villains, we're taking them down. That's the overall plot. What really surprised me though is how good the writing is. Like, usually in games like this, I feel like they do a really good job of writing the characters just like they do in the cartoons, and this is a prime example of that. It even got a couple of laughs out of me.
Oh, I love the smell of sewage in the morning!
Man, and I thought number 2 used too much paper. Get it? Number 2 uses too much toilet paper.
Another thing I think the story did a good job doing was giving each villain like their own time to shine. Like, okay, for the first level, we take down the lunch lady, and the level consists of us going through her food store or restaurant or whatever. It's a donut shop. Then taking her down at the end of the level with a boss fight. And I was like, okay, I get it. It's gonna be one of those games where each villain has their own level and a boss fight at the end. Okay, I fuck with it. It's basic, but I fuck with it. Nah, some of the villains actually get a decent amount of levels before you take them down. For example, take Count Spankula, who, by the way, is the only one who really belongs in prison. Like, the lunch lady just wants to make the kids fat. Okay, sure. The dentist guy wants to make sure everyone has good teeth. Sure, whatever. As an adult, I'm like, dude, fuck me up, dude. I need good teeth, please. But Spankula has kids in dark corners being spanked and getting other kids to spank even more kids in dark corners. Nah, send his ass away. I don't like him. But in the game itself, he turns off the electricity to the treehouse and turns everyone except number 4 into spanking vampires. So we play as him and turn everyone back to normal kids. The level after this, we play as number 3 and collect the hamsters required to get the electricity up and running. And in the level after this, we play as number 1 and hunt down Spankula himself while taking down his army of spanking children. Do y'all see why this man is a problem? Anyway, I really do like that each villain gets their own little story arc where they have this whole plan and you gotta kind of like take them down one step at a time. Like, it shows that this game at least had some thought put into it, at least into like the layout of the story and how the levels would progress. It shows, I see the effort, I see it. Instead of being like, okay, go through this level and fight the boss at the end, move on to the next villain. Nah, they let the character's personality shine like throughout the story. And on top of the game having good writing, it feels right out of the show, and the graphics, like, they honestly don't look that bad at all. There's a solid video game here. Half that sentence didn't sound correct and I'm too lazy to fix it. You're gonna have to just take what I said and hopefully decipher it English language. The gameplay itself ranges from really good to really bad. Playing as number 1, 2, and 4 is always a fun time. Number 1 has shooting based levels, like I said, feel Ratchet & Clank inspired, and there's a good dodging mechanic here with upgradable weapons. Number 2's levels always take place in this ship, and I found these to be fucking scary because this is a kids game, so Cartoon Network, what the fuck is this? Like, I died so much during these levels, and at one point I had to be paying attention to every single thing on screen while dodging some bullets, absorbing the others because you have a shield that can absorb certain bullets and fill up a special attack meter that could clear the screen for a bit. It's very satisfying, but it's limited and you gotta pay attention so you don't run out for too long, or else you will die, and you gotta dodge the ships that come out from behind you while dodging the ships that shoot lasers that your shield doesn't protect you against. It's a lot. It's a fucking kids game, and it's a lot. Number 4 usually has platform levels with hand-to-hand combat, and these were also a lot of fun. The combat is good, and pulling off these combos is satisfying. It's nothing special. Squares your basic punches, triangles your kicks, you roll with circle, and can fill up your special meter for a shitty attack that does extra damage, but I never actually got it to hit anybody. I didn't even bother using it. On the other end, number 3 and 5 have the worst levels, with number 3s being like these slow collectathon levels, and they drag out, like they go on for way too long. And number 5 has combat similar to number 3, except she fights way slower and spends most of her time taking hits. And she's also the only one with a stealth section, and the stealth section's not it. It's not. Why'd you guys even add this? I get the variety attempt here, but it didn't work out. Y'all should have known. Look, overall, I was surprised by this game. I was expecting to hate it. I was like, it's gonna be a good way to start this review video, you know, hating on a game and seeing if the other games can like slowly improve on it. But honestly, we're kind of setting the bar kind of high, honestly, so I'm kind of excited to see what our next game, Powerpuff Girls, has in its box of surprises for me. I'm kind of hyped. Powerpuff Girls, come up on stage. It's your turn on The Price is Right. So yeah, this game is fucking trash.